Traders from around the world, what's going on? It's Ricky Cadden back again from Real Life Trading Australia with another free Wednesday stock review just for you. Now guys, the SPY, we have been getting retest gap after retest gap. We have now started to bounce. I did mention this in my last review that we could potentially find support here. And we have most definitely found support. We are starting to scorch on higher with the SPY, so the trend is bullish, which is fantastic because there are a lot of stocks at really fantastic buying locations. But let's talk about the broader markets, guys. The SPY getting close to a new all-time high yet again. Now these retest gaps, they will probably come down and fill at some stage, but you know, probably at the end of October, early November, we should see another little dip, but then we should just mosey on higher. Here's the E-minis. Now this was a point where I did mention that we would probably find a resting period, which we did get a little bit of a pullback, but then we did kind of just scorch on higher. As we are on the E-minis, slowly but surely trending higher. A nice little pullback into this zone, finding some more support, and then finding a bounce would be absolutely sensational. The trend is definitely starting to slow down a little bit as the volume is decreasing, but all in all, the trend is bullish. Netflix, everyone, ticker symbol NFLX. Now they did report earnings this morning. If you take a look at the 5-minute, little bit volatile after hours, but you know, yesterday's session was fairly sideways. So whether or not we do pull back here, or whether or not we kind of just trade on bullish, or you know, have a little bit of a dippage action, who knows? We'll wait and see what happens when we do open on Netflix. But well done to all the traders. I did mention back here and back here that this was a really nice accumulation spot for Netflix. A couple of my traders did get into some longer term call options or LEAPS on Netflix, so well done to those traders who are profitable on Netflix. Here's Wix. Now this is one I did get triggered into. I got into LEAPS on this one just yesterday. We did set up a swing trade on this particular stock. You can see here the low of this candle was 186.30 and our entry was 185.70. So we did miss this particular trade setup, but given that this was such a fantastic low, I mean, if you take a look at the weekly chart, guys, check this out. We came almost straight back down to the 200 simple moving average on a weekly chart. Last time we were here was back in COVID, and we just had a nice explosive move. We traded sideways for a whole year and a half, came back down to that level, and yeah, looked to buy the dip. I did get into some 2024 January call options on this one, so definitely looking to capitalize greatly on this one over the next year and a half or 2 years or so on Wix. But going to try and test my holding muscle and hold this one as long as possible. Hopefully we can get triggered on this. If we do get a little bit of a dippage action, that would be fantastic. Then we can get into this one on a swing trade. But definitely a nice, decent buying location. Look at this Morningstar reversal pattern with volume. Oh my goodness. Well done to everyone on Wix. Actually, big shout out to my boy Bernie for getting into some 185 synthetic long back down here when we were trading sideways for that beautiful Morningstar. Well done, Bernie. Absolutely crushing it. CHWY. All right, CHWY. Now this one, guys, we did get triggered into this one last night. Now I did send out this one as a weekly options newsletter play. As you can see here, I sent it out on this candle here, waiting for a small little dippage action that triggered last night. So just looking for a nice little continuation high up into our target of around $6.30 or around $70 on the stock price. But once again, guys, take a look at the weekly chart. Bouncing off the 100 simple on a weekly chart. So this is a very good long-term buying location for CHWY. If you are getting into LEAPS, sounds amazing on CHWY. So buy low, sell high. This is a very nice longer-term play. The Aussie 200, guys, if you take a look at the daily chart, I did mention this one was slowly, surely, but grinding higher. And as you can see, we are slowly but surely grinding higher. The nice little higher highs and higher lows on this one. But we are above the 100 simple moving average. trend is starting to decline a little. The volume is starting to decline. Trend is still bullish. So I guess we will probably start to slow down a bit, have a little bit of a dip, and then look to buy that dip and go higher. Here's a few Aussie stocks. Kogan getting a really nice 6.5% move today with sensational volume. Gorgeous little trade higher. You can see we finally broke out of this little double bottom pattern. We had the cute little retest of the neckline, and now we're just going to scorch on higher. If you take a look at the weekly chart, we did also bounce off the 200 simple moving average, which was a previous level of resistance. So well done to those longer term traders who have been very patient buying at these longer term levels. But from here, guys, I just think the trend will probably start to reverse. Great volume, great price action, and then yeah, look to take this one higher. Here's Zero, ticker symbol XRO. Now this one's slowly going to make its way up to breakout very, very shortly. You can see we are currently creating a nice little ascending wedge that is happening right now. So we will most likely come back up to resistance around 152. From there, guys, we've got earnings coming up just around mid-November. But if we can get a nice little gap up above 156, 1 to 160, then I would expect this one to just scorch on higher on Zero. So well done all the traders buying off this 200 longer term simple moving average on a daily chart. JBH, good old JB Hi-Fi, my favorite shop in the world. Now JBH, I did mention back here, if you have been watching my reviews, I said this is where you guys are going to want to start formulating a position, right? If you are looking at pyramiding in, this is where you would look to at least start building your position size on JBH. A few real life traders did get into some shares on JB Hi-Fi. Take a look at the weekly chart, bouncing off the 100 simple moving average on a weekly chart. Buy low, sell high. We are currently in a nice little trending range right now. We'll probably only come back up to around 50, maybe come back down, maybe go to 54. We'll see, but eventually we'll most likely break out and go higher. Crude oil. Now, crude oil is consolidating. Finally, consolidating after a massive bullish move higher, going sideways, struggling to get above 82.40. So 82.40, 82.50. Crude oil is probably starting to slow down a little bit. So I would expect us to have some sort of dip and then look to buy the dip on crude. The bowsers have been getting quite expensive with fuel. So, you know, a nice little dip. Hopefully we see that at the bowsers as well. Here's gold. Now gold, I did mention back here that we're most likely going to have a little bit of a pullback after hitting the 100 and 200 simple moving average on a daily chart. If you take a look at the weekly chart, you can see we are still at the 100 simple moving average. But on the daily chart, finding a really nice support down here at 1762.9. From here, guys, we'll probably just trade sideways, just range a little bit. Eventually, we'll break out and go higher. It's just a matter of longer time frames at the moment. I say it's a matter of time, but really, it's going to take a little bit longer. Here's the Aussie dollar. Now, the Aussie dollar scorching on higher. This will also help gold as well. Weekly chart, phenomenal. Double bottom off the longer term moving averages. Fantastic break above longer term resistance as well. On this one, I just guess that we are most likely going to continue on higher. We have a nice little short term resistance here around about 75 cents on this one. But once we get up here, we'll probably find some support around the 100, which is the neckline of this double bottom. And then from there, I just expect us to probably most likely trend on bullish. Dollar index finding resistance. Obviously, this reason why the Aussie dollar is going higher. And the volatility index, you can see we are starting to get back down to these really nice low levels. So we are going to be trending on bullish. Be bullish, team. All right, guys, I'll be back with another real life stock review for you on Friday. Don't forget to leave the comments down below if you want me to review any tickers for you. But until next time, love life, live life, and trade it. You guys absolutely rock. Bye.